Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive 10th episode of CBS's hit drama, Beyond the Gates. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our weekly recaps. And fair warning, we're covering the entire episode today, so this is your official spoiler alert. Episode 10, titled House of Cards, marks a pivotal turning point in the first season. The foundations of Oakwood Estates are literally and figuratively crumbling, and no one's secrets are safe anymore. Let's get into it. After 9 episodes of escalating tension, House of Cards delivers the confrontations we've been waiting for. The land development scandal that Danny uncovered in the premiere has finally reached a boiling point. With the SEC investigation now public knowledge within the community, meanwhile, Nicole and Ted's marriage faces its ultimate test as his financial dealings with Leslie Thomas are exposed. The Hamilton-Dupree rivalry takes a shocking turn when Chelsea discovers her father's connection to the mysterious Marcus Williams case. And perhaps most dramatically, Anita Dupree's carefully maintained facade begins to crack when Eva Thomas reveals what was in those documents from the hidden safe. This episode brilliantly weaves together all the major storylines that have been building throughout the season, setting the stage for what promises to be an explosive final stretch of episodes. Vernon had just learned that someone leaked information about the SEC investigation to the local press. His immediate suspicion fell on Bill Hamilton, but we as viewers saw Danny making a phone call to her law school mentor about doing the right thing. Nicole discovered text messages between Ted and Leslie that suggested more than just business dealings, leading to her dramatic exit from their anniversary dinner. Martin and Smitty had decided to temporarily separate after Martin's confession about his connection to the Marcus Williams case, leaving Smitty devastated and questioning everything about their relationship. And in the episode's final moments, Anita was confronted by Eva Thomas with copies of documents Eva claimed came from a mutual friend, clearly implying she had access to whatever was in Anita's hidden safe. Episode 10 wastes no time diving into the fallout. The opening scene shows Vernon and Anita in their living room, frantically discussing damage control strategies for the SEC investigation leak. Director uses tight framing and handheld camera work to create a sense of their world closing in. Vernon, if this gets traced back to the original land acquisition, Anita, it won't. Those records are gone. Vernon, nothing is ever truly gone, Anita. You know that better than anyone. This exchange brilliantly foreshadows the episode's revelations while reminding us of Anita's mysterious past that's been hinted at throughout the season. The scene is interrupted by Danny's arrival, and Vernon immediately confronts her about the leak. What follows is perhaps the most emotionally charged father-daughter confrontation of the series. Vernon, was it you? Did you betray your own family? Danny, I didn't betray the family. I'm trying to save it from you. The actors deliver this exchange with such raw emotion that it's impossible not to feel torn between Vernon's sense of betrayal and Danny's moral conviction. The scene ends with Anita stepping between them, physically embodying her season-long role as the family mediator. Meanwhile, Nicole confronts Ted about the text messages, leading to a stunning revelation. Ted and Leslie's relationship isn't romantic but criminal. They've been working together to funnel money from the Richardson Family Trust into offshore accounts. The scene shifts perspectives brilliantly, beginning with Nicole's jealous accusations, transitioning to Ted's defensive denial of an affair, and culminating in Nicole's horrified realization that financial crimes are actually worse for their family's reputation than infidelity would have been. Nicole, an affair I could forgive. This question mark. This puts everything at risk. My family name, our future, everything. Ted, your family name? That's always been the problem, hasn't it? It's always the Dupree name first. This confrontation has been building since the pilot, and the payoff is spectacular. The layers of their marriage, resentment, ambition, love, and disappointment all unfold in a masterclass of acting. The scene takes an unexpected turn when Leslie arrives, having been summoned by Ted. What follows is a three-way confrontation where Leslie reveals she's been working with the SEC all along, wearing a wire during their conversation. The revelation that Leslie has been playing both sides, seemingly helping Ted while actually building a case against both the Richardsons and Dupreece, is the kind of twist Beyond the Gates excels at. The episode's middle section finally provides answers about the mysterious Marcus Williams references that have been scattered throughout the season. Chelsea Hamilton discovers old newspaper clippings in her father's office safe, revealing that Marcus Williams was the original owner of the land that became Oakwood Estates. According to the articles, Williams disappeared under suspicious circumstances just before selling the property to Vernon Dupree at a surprisingly low price. Did you know? When Vernon acquired this land, did you know what happened to Williams? Bill, it was a different time, Chelsea. Certain sacrifices were necessary to build what we have now. Chelsea, sacrifices? A man disappeared, Dad. Bill, and you've enjoyed the fruits of that community your entire life. We all have our hands dirty in this. Every family behind these gates. This revelation recontextualizes the entire Hamilton-Dupree rivalry. What seemed like a straightforward business competition now appears to have moral and potentially criminal dimensions. The implication that Bill Hamilton has been using this knowledge as leverage against Vernon for decades adds compelling depth to their antagonism. The scene cuts to Martin at his separate apartment, looking at the same newspaper clippings, connecting the dots that Marcus Williams was his uncle, explaining his discomfort with Oakwood Estates' wealth and his strained relationship with the community's founding families. In what may be the episode's most powerful sequence, Eva Thomas finally confronts Anita with the contents of the documents, which turn out to be evidence that Anita, before her marriage to Vernon, worked as a fixer who helped clean up the Marcus Williams disappearance. The cinematography here is stunning, with Anita's perfectly composed exterior literally reflected and then shattered in the hallway mirrors as Eva reveals each piece of evidence. Eva, you built this perfect life on a foundation of other people's suffering. Anita, I built this life to protect my children from the world I came from. You don't understand what it's like to claw your way out of nothing. Ava, I understand covering up a man's disappearance to secure your future isn't justice. The revelation that Anita's past as a fixer is directly connected to the community's founding reframes her character entirely. Her obsession with appearances and control suddenly makes perfect psychological sense. She's been covering up her original sin for decades. The scene culminates in a devastating moment when Danny overhears the conversation, learning that both her parents were complicit in the community's corrupt foundation. The look of betrayal on Danny's face as she silently backs away from the doorway communicates more than any dialogue could. The episode's final act brings all these storylines to a head at the Oakwood Estates Emergency Community Meeting, called to address the SEC investigation rumors. Vernon attempts to maintain control, assuring residents that the investigation is a minor issue targeting a competitor. But his carefully constructed narrative unravels when Danny arrives late to the meeting and publicly confronts both her parents about Marcus Williams. The community meeting descends into chaos as accusations fly. The revelation that the entire community was essentially built on corrupt dealings shatters the pristine image of Oakwood Estates, with various residents turning on each other as they realize their complicity. Director brilliantly cross-cuts between arguments erupting throughout the room, showing the community literally falling apart. Visual parallels to the pilot episode's gala, held in the same community center with the same people in drastically different circumstances, emphasize how far things have fallen. Vernon standing alone at the podium as the community members walk out one by one, his empire literally emptying before his eyes. 1. Nicole, realizing the extent of Ted's crimes and the danger to her family, makes a midnight call to her mother's former fixer contact, suggesting she's willing to follow in Anita's morally compromised footsteps to protect the family legacy. 2. Chelsea Hamilton provides the SEC with her father's files on Marcus Williams, choosing justice over family loyalty in direct contrast to the path the Duprees have followed for decades. 3. Martin reaches out to Smitty, finally ready to reveal the full truth about his connection to Marcus Williams and his complicity in the cover-up. And in the episode's final shocking moment, Vernon enters his home office to find it ransacked, his hidden safe open and empty, except for a single playing card, the King of Hearts, torn in half. As Vernon's face registers shock and recognition, we cut to black. This cliffhanger perfectly sets up the season's final episodes, leaving viewers with questions about both the past and future of Oakwood Estates. The core conflict between preserving family legacy and pursuing justice reaches its breaking point. Each character makes crucial choices that reveal their true values, with some surprising themselves by which side they ultimately choose. The episode forces every character to confront what they've sacrificed for their status and wealth. Anita's confession that she became a fixer to escape poverty adds nuanced perspective to her moral compromises. Generational divides? The contrast between the founding generation's willingness to compromise and their children's idealism creates fascinating tension. Danny and Chelsea represent a new generation, unwilling to perpetuate their parents' moral compromises. Appearance versus reality. The community meeting sequence brilliantly depicts the final collapse of the facade that's been cracking since episode 1. The prestigious image of Oakwood Estates is revealed to be as hollow as Vernon's promises to the residents. Delivers a tour de force performance as Anita's carefully constructed persona finally cracks. The scene where she confesses her past to Eva shows remarkable restraint, communicating decades of buried shame through the subtlest facial expressions, brings unexpected vulnerability to Vernon's public humiliation at the community meeting. For a character who's been defined by his control and confidence, watching him realize he's losing everything is surprisingly moving. Perfectly captures the disillusionment of discovering your parents aren't who you thought they were. Her evolution from idealistic whistleblower to someone questioning everything she believed in is compelling and heartbreaking. After this game-changing episode, here are the burning questions for the remaining episodes. 1. Who ransacked Vernon's office, and what is the significance of the torn King of Hearts card? 2. Will Nicole follow in her mother's footsteps and become the next generation's fixer? 3. How will the SEC investigation progress now that Chelsea has provided evidence? 4. What will happen to Oakwood Estates itself if the foundation of its existence is proven corrupt? 5. Will Martin and Smitty reconcile once the full truth is revealed? The torn King of Hearts seems particularly significant, possibly representing Vernon himself with his heart or family torn apart. Alternatively, it could be a signature from someone connected to Marcus Williams, suggesting a long-awaited revenge plot. Beyond the Gates continues to deliver compelling drama that balances soap opera twists with meaningful exploration of wealth, power, and family. Episode 10 represents a turning point where the consequences of past actions can no longer be contained behind the community's pristine gates. With only a few episodes left this season, the stage is set for a dramatic conclusion that will likely reshape Oakwood Estates forever. The question remains whether the Duprees can maintain their position at the top of this community, or if their reign is finally coming to an end. What did you think of this pivotal episode? Are you Team Danny or Team Vernon? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for weekly recaps of Beyond the Gates and all your other favorite shows. Until next week, when we'll see if the House of Cards continues to fall. Thanks for watching.